Hello everyone, and welcome to the July 2026 Energetic Insights. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Topeka Mystery, and I'm an intuitive guide, energy healer, coach, and a consultant. And for nearly 7 years now, I've been sharing these insights on a month-by-month basis. And it's really geared up for those of you that are becoming more and more consciously aware of your intuitive and energetic abilities and are looking for some practical guidance to help you to navigate your way through. So if this sounds like you, welcome, you're here at the right place. Oh my goodness, what a month July is going to be, and how fiery is this month? I know many of you are already feeling this. All right, before I dive into the full energies for this month, I've got a couple of quick announcements. And the first one is the energetic alignment sessions, which is a group healing meditation journeys that is taking place on Sunday, the 19th of July at our usual time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. European time. And the theme this month is called Empowered Empaths Expansion. And then I have those of you that are looking and wanting to work with me one-to-one. I have one more session left, which I think over July and August, for a 3-month or a 12-month coaching, healing, or mentoring program. If you're curious about that, do go ahead to my website and drop me a message or leave a message below and ask any of the questions that you have. So that is available. And also I decided just for this month, because there's been a number of you that have been requesting, hey Topeka, do you do the one-off sessions? And I used to, and then I stopped doing them because I found that the journeys of 3s and 12s were a lot more beneficial for my clients, because we would go on a deeper journey. And those 3 or 12-month programs are 2-hour session longs. However, because of the request, I thought, okay, let me just try something new. Well, let's bring back something that I used to do, which is a one-off session, but just it is mostly for you guys that are new clients and new to my work and are looking to work with someone on a coaching and energy healing basis, but don't know what to expect but want to try it out. Then this 90-minute session is for you. And if you've got any questions about it, do go ahead to my website and drop me a message there or leave a message below. Or if you know that this is what you want to try, you can go and book yourself in directly on the website. It should be available now as you're watching this. If it's not, it will definitely be available for you to book in by the 5th of July. And I'm only opening up about 3 or 4 slots on that, just so that I get a sense of how does that feel. And it's because so many of you have asked me for the one-off sessions. Those of you, and I can just hear those of you that are my regular clients or have worked with me before, I will still recommend just booking the course of 3, and we can spread that out over 3 months or a little bit longer if we need to. As you know how the work works. All right, and then finally, I'm going to say the same thing again. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do go ahead and subscribe. I can't even get the words out. Comment below, share it with your loved ones, your families, your friends, your co-workers, and leave a thumbs up. All of this helps me to grow the channel and reach those that really need to hear this message at this time and need to receive the guidance from these insights as well. Okay. Let's dive into the energies for July. And boy, oh boy, gosh, there is this rapid fire energy. And yesterday I felt completely dead to the world, but this morning it's like, whoa, this fire energy was just moving through me. And it's like, there's no stopping it. That's the sensation I got as it was moving through my body. And there's a sense that it's going to keep switching lanes, switching dimensions, and switching realities. And I feel that this really started coming through. If you remember from the June insights, I mentioned that between the 18th and the 22nd of June, we're going to reach this kind of turning point, tipping point. And it didn't quite happen overnight, but then it did kind of happen overnight. But there was this switching sensation, like it's almost like we switched over into a whole new timeline. So it's like we went to bed and the next morning, oh, I'm not on the same plane as I used to be. And I know many of you have experienced this, and if you have, let me know what your experience has been about this below, because I'm so curious about when exactly it happened. But I knew it was around that period, and I think for many of us it kind of happened after the 21st of June. So I'd be curious to know, how do you experience that, because I think that was the start of the energies that we're experiencing this month. And one of the things I think I said in the January insights is like it's really difficult to predict or to get hold of the energies this year, because it's constantly switching, changing, shifting, all of it. And for this month, I'm just like, I'm not sure what the energies are going to be like, but let's just go with what I'm getting. And it's really, really difficult to kind of grab hold of it. And the way that the image that I kind of got was, because it's such a fiery energy, if you imagine the direction of where the fire is moving, if the wind changes direction, the fire changes direction. If the element of water comes in and douses the fire, then there is no fire. If the element of earth comes in and douses the fire as well, there is no fire. So it makes the fire smaller and the wind can make it bigger. So depending on which elements kind of mix in with the element of fire, that is going to be the course of direction. And I think we are the ones that are creating this course by moment by moment by moment by moment. So with all of that, the whole sense that I'm getting for July, August, and beginning parts of September, because September, I don't know, there's a really interesting energy from like the 10th of September onwards. I don't even have that written down. It's just something I got right now as I'm talking to you guys. So, but the key messages, and if you want to stick to something and where everything is just shifting and changing at such accelerated speed, remember that nothing is set in stone. You are the creator. Allow yourself to be accelerated forward by this push of the universe, and you'll feel this pull from your heart as well. And the more you resist it, the more friction that you will create, and it will just make things a little bit harder. Know that if you're getting that kind of accelerated push from the universe or pull from your heart, follow it. And as you follow it, go within yourself, because if you are outside of your body, distracted by everything that's going on outside, it's going to be really difficult for you to connect inside of yourself with your heart center, and with your heart center to your soul's energy. There's a deeper connection that many of us are going to start to experience with our soul's energy, and it will show up in different ways, and I'll talk a bit more about that in one of the themes. But this is about building from the inside out by connecting from within and remembering that nothing is set in stone and that you are the creator. And then the other thing that I got for this month, there's a couple of other things that I got for this month, but one of the other things was like, in June, I don't know if you guys remember, but I said something along the lines that, there's this June energy feels like there's fireworks, like distracted fireworks that will be happening outside of us that is going to get us to wobble, and that we're going to have to use our discernment. We got another firework energy in July, but this is different. Like June felt like it was outside of us. This one feels very explosive in nature, and there's like a rumbling sensation that will be happening in our bodies and under our feet. And for some of us, we're going to feel all of the three feelings, which is excitement, overwhelm, and unsettling feeling. So those of us that are feeling this excitement, the key thing is to move with it. Move with the energy of the excitement and let it guide you, let it lead you, because new opportunities are opening up for us, because it's coming into alignment with our soul alignment. So those of us that have done our inner work and we are in alignment with our soul frequency and vibration, new opportunities are opening up and coming into form. So it's not something inside of us, it's coming to us, and it's in physical, tangible form. And this is happening at lightning speed. So the key thing is to move with it. Stay grounded, stay connected with yourself, and move with it. And then at the same time, or in different periods of time this month, you may also feel overwhelmed. And the reason why some of you may feel overwhelmed is that we are expanding at a phenomenal rate. We're expanding beyond ourselves and our senses. We're going deeper within ourselves, and we're going further out within ourselves, further out into our energetic senses and deeper into our energetic being. And there's a sense of reclaiming parts of our soul. And the image that I've always got is that we are coming into this period where more of our soul's energy is going to start to come into our human form. If you are feeling overwhelmed, the key thing here is to rest. Rest. Even a little bit of tiredness, rest. Do not push your way through. Do not move with it. It's time to rest. The resting will allow you to move into the excitement energy, because it will integrate the energies that you're going to need to use in the excitement energies as well. So rest, and the rest will allow the integration to take place. And then some of you, and I think we will all feel bits of this depending on it. And I think even when we're in the excitement energy, it's like, oh my goodness, the ground beneath my feet is not stable, it's wobbling. What do I do? What do I do? So there may be a little destabilizing, unsettling feeling as well. And sometimes the speed of the excitement may be too much. And so then you just learn to move with it. You learn to ride it. And it's almost like as things move up, you make yourself more present. And as you make yourself more present, it's easier to kind of navigate that. But also this destabilizing, unsettling energy, many of us that are holding on to something of the old really tightly are going to feel this at another level. So as the old foundation is not built on truth, and from the heart will break apart, and it's going to be and these foundations, they're breaking apart because it's unable to hold the structures that have been built upon it, which has been built upon control and manipulation or egoic greed. So the key thing is, if things are feeling like they're unsettling or destabilizing, it's counterintuitive because you want to hunker down and hold on tightly. The key thing here is to let go. Let go, let go, let go. And this will allow space to be created. So I also then mentioned, I think in the June's Insight, so there's so much to get through, so I'll try my best to kind of get through it all. In June's Insight, I mentioned that on the 18th of July or around the 18th of July, we're going to reach this kind of crescendo point. And I think I mentioned that there were like little hairpins, like a crescendo and a decrescendo, and then another crescendo, decrescendo, but overall underneath there's a massive crescendo that's happening. So I think we're going to reach the peak of that crescendo, but I'm also seeing other waves of crescendos coming, and I'll share that a little bit later. But in this one, it feels like this crescendo is creating dynamic, rippling change. So some of this can appear as destructive, some of this will appear as creative, some of this will appear as revealing distortions. And the word I got was passion field. So it's full of passion kind of thing. It will be fast. Some of it will be cleansing, purifying, and which will then bring it clarity. All of this energy around this crescendo, it's about reorganization. There's a massive theme around reorganization in this month's insights, in this month's energy. And then those of you that have been wondering, I know I've been one of them from February, where the hell is the fire horse energy? Well, let me tell you, it has arrived. It has arrived in full force this month, and I felt it like a couple of days or a day before when we moved into July, and then I think I got walloped yesterday because I was meant to record these insights yesterday on the 1st of July, and I just like, oh no, can't do this. But it's like I had to be able to hold this energy, and it's taken me like a day or two to really hold this energy. So what does this mean? That we are literally going to be pushed and accelerated forward. And there's a very elemental energy to this. So fire and air. And what we will get with the elements of fire and air is that it creates this forward momentum. It gives us the courage to speak our truth, our soul's truth. And there's a sense of expansion and expansion. And and with it comes this confidence and courage for self-expression, and to really stand strong and tall within ourselves and in our energy, and no more shrinking to fit in. And then you've got this fire and water element, and this creates rippling waves of change. And I literally say it as fire waves, like the waves that you see on the ocean that has that kind of rippling effect, but instead of it being turquoise blue, it is this orange, red, pink color that kind of moves across. And this feels more tangible, whereas the fire air energy feels like we can feel it outside of us, but doesn't quite have form. This one has form. And the energy of the fire and water elements together, it's about reorganizing things on a physical plane. And it's going to create space. And the key thing here is to hold that space and not to fight any of these energies. Just witness it and ride with it, and know that the fire horse energy has finally arrived, and it's going to completely whoop our ass as well. So yes. And it's already whooped my ass. So don't worry, you're not alone on this journey. Right, before I dive into the first overall message for this month, I've got a couple of key dates. Whether these dates are going to be relevant or not, things are constantly changing. So take anything that I say in these insights, just take whatever resonates with you and what you need at the time, because things are constantly changing, and they're going to constantly change. So like I mentioned, 18th of July feels like we're going to hit this peak point, like a crescendo. And the thing that I got for this is wave 1. And in August, we're probably going to get another 2 waves of this crescendo point. And again, this is about reorganization on an earth, human, and energetic level. Then between the 25th of July and the 28th of July, there's an earth acceleration energy. So it's like this rumbling sensation that we're going to feel on the earth. It's like we're not changing as humans, but we are so tapped in and connected to the earth that we can feel the earth changing. And it changes, it's about changes of the structure of the earth. So I think it's on many different levels, right? We're seeing a lot that is happening at the moment with the earthquakes that's going on, the volcanoes, just so much that is going on. So I feel that there's going to be more changes to the actual structure of the earth. Maybe there is new land that is coming to light. Maybe the energetic structure is changing, so we are operating completely differently and we're connecting to the earth completely differently as well. So it could be that, as well as more of the tangible physical changes to the earth. But also with this energy, which I'm really, really excited for, and I didn't see this one coming, but there's like, I got goosebumps now on one of my legs. It's so weird as I'm about to say this. There's an accelerated awakening that is happening. And I think many of us are like, finally. But with this comes a lot of chaos, because a lot of people that have been really, really fast asleep that are waking up rapidly, and those of us that have been on this awakened journey, you know how difficult it can be to awaken. You know the circular effects of it, and it's constant. We're constantly awakened to new levels of ourselves. So imagine those that are on the accelerated path. It's going to be very discombobulating for them and disorientating from them. So it's going to take those of us that have been on this journey to really hold our ground and hold our space and lead the way, not by shouting, not by forcing, not by condemning, not by shaming, but simply by standing strong and tall within our energy and bringing more of our energy through and leading by example, from being the energy that we know ourselves to be. And then that leads the way, and people will feel that, and people naturally gravitate to that, and they'll find their own energy within themselves as well. So then I got 11th of August, there's this kind of shockwave energy that is globally. So, oh gosh, I've got really nasty chills. That's just gone up my body right now. When I was writing this, I'm just like, Deepika, this is all rubbish. But now I'm sharing this with you, I'm just getting really weird goosebumps. That's just moved up on the left-hand side of my body. A shockwave energy, a global energy. So there may be some sort of global event or something that comes to light around the 11th of August, whether that happens or not. Again, just take this as a read. I'm not predicting the future, because I don't think I can predict the future. I'm just kind of reading the energies that I pick up here. So there's a shockwave energy that feels very global, and it will no, they're correcting me, the guides are correcting me, it will have a global impact. So shockwave energy that will have a global impact. Sorry, I got the wording wrong, so I was corrected there. So just keep that in mind. And then, I love this one so much, and I'm getting goosebumps again. July, August, and September. It's almost like the sense I'm getting is the summer, the hippie summer of love energy. There's waves upon love. I think last month one of the themes was light waves of love, but this is waves of love, soul connections forming. There's an opening up to more of our telepathic communication, our heart connection with ourselves, with our soul selves, with our soul families, whether they're in physical forms, whether they're the tree like my friend Dolores, or whether it's a bird, or whether it's an animal, whether it's the grass, whether it's a flower, whatever it is. There's just a deepening sense of connection with our soul's essence and our soul's energy. And the key thing that I'm hearing is that for some of us, right, what is going to happen is going to reveal what is not in alignment and what is not our true connection. And oftentimes that is the hardest, because we've built our lives, whether it's our working life or our private life, we built it based on our conditionings and often coming from our wounding. So this is going to be like an accelerated change when there's a massive realization of who you thought you were, you're not actually are, because of this accelerated awakening. So, there's going to be things that are going to be falling apart. So the guidance here is to let go and let what needs to fall away. Don't hold on to it. And that will just ease the path and allow your soul connection, your soul tribe to come in, to form, There's also a deeper yearning for quiet and simplicity. Either that or I'm just getting really old and this is just for me. But there's a yearning for quiet and simplicity and a true soul connection. And I know for myself, over the last year, you know, whatever is noise, whether it's having a conversation with somebody or getting on the phone, not to say they're bad people, it's just like, I want more space for myself. And that is the key. I want more space for myself, more space for my thoughts, more space for my feelings, more space for my energy. And the more we expand and grow, we need more space for ourselves. And those of us that are being people pleasers, it's one of the difficult things that we can do because we're always in service of other people. But because of the energies from last month about the people pleaser breaking free, it's almost like we're finally giving ourselves that permission to have that space around us. So if you're feeling that, honor it. There's something really magical about it. I don't know what it is yet, but just honor it. We are so being guided at this time. All right, let's dive into the first overall message before I go into the themes for this month. So the overall message from the guides, they go, the time has come, the time is now. The energy of rapid fire has arrived. With it brings accelerated awakening to the human form, to its multidimensional nature. No easy feat, we say. Its beauty lies in the destruction of the old, as the creation of the new begins. Fear it not, as you have chosen to be here for these times, and you are built for these times. Anchor yourself within yourself, connecting to the elements of earth, fire, water, air, and spirit. As you embody your soul self, made from the stars, you shall ride the rippling waves of change, as the world as you knew it reorganize itself at speed. So I think that's giving us guidance of what is happening, what is coming, and how to manage it by connecting with the 5 elements and going within ourselves. Right, let's do a quick recap of the themes from June, and they were people pleasing breaking free, discernment through delusions, the divine masculine energy, and light waves of love. If any of those themes resonate with you, do go back and watch the June insights. And you may want to watch some of the other insights because some of those themes may still be playing out and may be relevant for you right now. Okay, so the first theme for this month is called Merging, Converging, and Separating Realities. And the guides go, you are moving through a period of time and space of reorganization, where the realities and timelines merge, converge, and separate. Life as you knew it shall not be the same. Fear it not, we say, as comfort is not why you are here. You are here for change, to be the change and create the change that is needed for the ascension of this earth, an awakening of the human form to the truth of who they are. We say, center yourself within yourself. Trust the calling of your heart. Allow yourself to be led by your soul. Take one step at a time. This shall form the new formless world through you. Exciting times of evolutionary change, we say. So this theme is so trippy. So I have some questions for you guys, and let me know in the comments if you are feeling any of this or anything else. So how many of you have been feeling this kind of tripping sensation, and it's almost like, am I in this reality or am I in this reality? And it's almost like you've got a view of various different realities, and you kind of know where your reality is, but your reality doesn't fit into any of the other realities, but yet you're aware of the other realities. I know it sounds all really baffling and confusing, but you may be feeling that. Okay, let me know if you are. And then you may be feeling that the speed of time keeps changing, and it's like one moment you can keep track of time and it's going really, really slow, and the next moment it's the day is over and done with, and it's time overall is speeding up over and over again and getting faster and faster and faster. But there's a different sense of time that is coming to light at the moment versus that fear is that, oh my God, things are moving too fast, time is going so well. There's something that is almost like we're able to hold time yet not quite hold time. So let me know how you're experiencing that. And then how many of you has felt or experienced like the best laid plans that you've had for your working life or your home life, family life, relationship life? No longer it feels aligned. And it's almost like you woke up and it's like, this is not me anymore. Yeah, no one's done anything wrong. You haven't changed, they haven't changed. But it's almost like a realization something doesn't feel in alignment. And it's almost like what you had planned doesn't feel as important anymore or feels relevant. So yeah, you might be experiencing that. And then many of you may be questioning what you have built, what you've not built, what you have acquired, what you have not acquired, what you've experienced, what you have not experienced. It's almost like a reevaluation of life that is also happening with the merging and converging of realities. And I feel part of this is because we are becoming more multidimensional in nature. And I will share an image that I got for this. And this image is like, imagine like rings, like, let me think, circular rings. So you've got a ring here and then another ring here and another ring there. And they're all stacked nicely on top of each other and they're not touching one another. And yet they center around this pole and the pole tilts like this. But so when the rings are orbiting this pole, it tilts, they start to connect with each other. They start to touch each other and overlap each other and connect with each other. So that's the image that I got. And this is what I feel is happening with this merging, converging, and the separating of realities. So the key thing here is when we start to question what we've never questioned because we thought that this is what life was supposed to be like, it can feel really, really scary. The key thing here is try not to push it down. Try just to sit with it and have that space. It's almost like you're having, spend a lunchtime with it, with yourself, with a notebook, and just say, okay, I'm going to sit with this and I'm going to have lunch with this and then I'm going to have a dialogue with it. Make it fun. Make it fun, because the soul, there's an element of your soul that's attempting to communicate with you and it wants to come in to you. And the key thing about this is that it's not something that's airy-fairy like you kind of do in the energetics. No, it's also not something that you do intellectually. It's like, okay, let me get the next 10 steps and let me revise a book and let me learn about it. And okay, that's it. I'm done it. I'm doing it. When you do either one of those things, it comes from ego. It really comes from ego. And this is where you trip over yourself and you fall apart because you're so caught up in the ego's narrative and there's no foundation there. You will literally trip up over yourself and there's nothing there to catch you. So the key thing about this, all of this that is going on, is really coming into your body. It's really an embodied experience where we are being asked to strengthen our connection with our bodies and strengthen our bodies so that we can hold these new energies that is coming in and hold versions of ourselves that might be sitting in different realities, in different dimensions. So often when we talk, those of you guys that are familiar with energy healing, we often talk about future lives and past lives and how that is all happening all at once. Watch Doctor Strange, so then that will give you insights onto the different, the different realities all at once, that are happening all at once, and what happens when they converge and when they merge and when they separate. So it's an embodied experience. And so many of us, I know in my group, in the energetic alignment community, many people within there, and even including myself, we had experiences of old niggles coming up, old pain points, old thought patterns that came up. So, I mean, for me, it was very fascinating. I used to have severe physical pain, I would say back in 2010, 2011. Which I worked through over years and years and years of work, and the distortion showed up, and I knew, like, hang on a second, my body's trying to protect itself. What's going on here? And oftentimes when we have expanded in our energy field and something we've expanded into, we become aware of, say, another dimension, another reality. Say there was some bad juju in another past life, for example, and I'm speaking from experience here, that we expand into that state. And it's almost like the body then goes into protection mode. And so then you have to clear the energy out of that. I know I'm going to go quite deep here, so stay with me. And if you don't get it, simply just ask a question below. But what I'm trying to say here is that the body is acting as a navigation system for us, this going forward in this month and going onwards. And so really listen to your body. And so if you are getting like the old niggles and old pains, just kind of sit with it, go back and tune into what you had learned about it and what resolved it. And it's not about fixing anything, because you're not broken. It's your body communicating with you and showing you, what needs to be held, what needs to be cleared, what needs to be addressed, what needs to be looked at, what needs to be witnessed, what needs to be loved. So that is one thing. But for some of you guys, your body will just shut down because you've been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and it will just shut down. So just be aware of it. And then some of you may not experience any niggles, but you experience waves upon waves of exhaustion. So a lot of this is not physical symptoms, but they're showing up as physical symptoms because the body is now communicating the stuck emotions and the energies from this lifetime, from past lifetimes, from future lifetimes, that needs to be released. So listen. And then as you release that, allow yourself to create and hold that space, and allow yourself to fill up that space with your energy, just you being you. Oftentimes, many of us are empaths and many of us are people pleasers. Once we've done the clearing and healing in this space, it's like, okay, welcome in everyone, let's have a party in my space. And I'm saying, no, hold that space for yourself. You have a party in that space for yourself, right? And so all of this, what is happening is our bodies are being strengthened so that we can hold more of this new incoming higher frequency light that is coming through. So it's really helping us to clear what cannot hold that, and clear our body and all the lower frequency energy so that we can hold the higher frequency energy, and we have more space in our body to hold it. And so, the key thing is going through now until the end of the year and into 2027 is strengthen your body. And what could that look like? That could look like rest. Rest is so underutilized. We have a culture here is like, oh, you're weak if you need to have more than 6 hours sleep and you can't go to work and you can't party all night, blah, blah, blah. It's, we kind of, I've forgotten the word, but we've glorified not needing to rest as much. But rest is going to be the savior. It is such a powerful tool right now. Body work, fascia tissue work, it's amazing, whether it's a core fascia release or whether it's rolfing. Energy healing works really well on the body. I know there's something that I'm doing now with my clients, which is working energetically on the physical body, and they feel like they've had a massage and I haven't laid a hand on them, and it's all done online. So I'm seeing the shifts and changing, and their bodies change. Bodies change in kind of like if they were twisted to one side, when they stand up, their body is different. So all of these things can be done. Nutrition, working out, walks in nature or being in nature, or simply slowing down. And then as you do this and your body strengthens, receive the pieces of the new as they fall into place. Let them fall in. Don't go grabbing for it. They were falling at the right timing. There's a big orchestration that is happening that is beyond us. So the more we let go and allow it to take its form, it will do its magic. And I feel that for all of this, what we're having is many of us are now going to start to have more multidimensional soul experiences in our physical form. And so we're going to find different versions of ourselves, very much like how we recognize the 20-year-old version of ourselves, or when we're doing the therapy work, we recognize that inner child, our the angry teenage self, the 20-year-old, the 30-year-old, whatever it is. But it's almost like those parts, aspects, but then also aspects from other lifetimes as well that may be carrying the same kind of patterns and programmings that need to be cleared. So this is really, really, really nuts. But anyway, here we are. Take what you need from it. All right, let's go on to theme 2. I like this one. Theme 2 is called Closing Doors Opens Doors. Hard as it may be, and the guides go, sorry, I'm so excited and so much in a rush. It's like, speak up, slow down. So I need to take my own advice there. Anyway, so the guides go, hard as it may be, let the closing doors close. Why force open what is ready to close? This is not who you are. This is the conditioning of the world that operated in fear, in lack and limitation of abundance. Yet the abundance is readily and always available to you. More often than not, there is no space for abundance to flow. It is a state of being, not something you hold. So we say, let go. Let the closing doors close, and surrender yourself to the void's embrace. Uncomfortable it may be, but trust that it shall be what it needs to be. As time stands still in the moments of pure presence of acceptance, the new doors shall appear and open for you to cross over into a world of yours, your heart's soul's truest desires. So it's a really, really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message. And I feel like it's guiding us into a new way of operating and asking us to let go of our old way of operating. And I know this has been a personal journey of mine over the last 3 years of having left corporate, not wanting to leave corporate, wanting to go back in, and I still want to go back in, but I also know I can't go back in the same way that I did go back in because I'm not the same person and I can't squeeze myself into it anymore. But and so many of us over the last couple of years have gone through this process where our old way of operating didn't work. So it's almost like we weren't fully our new versions of ourselves, but we weren't the same as we were in the space that we grew up in. So I think many new people are going to be experiencing this, and many more of us will be experiencing this a whole other level. And what I want to say is to remember that this is a journey. It's guiding us to embrace a new way of operating, and as new operating system there are multiple layers, and with each layer you take one step, you learn from that one step you've taken, you revise that step, you decide whether you're going to take the same step again or make a slightly different course correction in that step. That is how we are moving right now, versus having a plan and say, okay, this is a plan and I'm going to execute it. No matter what, I'm going to push through and I'm going to execute it. That's not how this is working. It is, this closing of the doors is really about letting go first, letting go without knowing what the next move is. And that is so hard for all of us. And I know it's really, really hard for me, but there gets to a point where you just let go. And sometimes you can't let go and life forces you to let go. So let go. And so the movement here is really a movement from the head to the heart, from holding on to letting go, from control to trust, from lack and limitation to abundance, from comfort to discomfort, from outer world to inner world. So this is the direction and movement of travel. So you may be oscillating in between the two of them, but just know that you're moving into a new operating system that is heart-based. It's about letting go, it's about trusting, it's about abundance, it's not comfortable, and it's about your inner world. And so think about it this way. So many of us, when we're looking to change something in our lives, so a great example, how many of you, and I know I've done this in the past, and we would never leave a job until we got the next job. And then once we've got the next job and we've got the contracts in hand, that's when we hand in our notice. And now it's almost like, if the job is not calling you, it's not fitting, let it go. Let it go, because until you let it go, the new job is not going to appear. And this is hard for so many of us, but it's getting us to come into our hearts versus our head-based operating system. It's forcing us into a heart-based operating system. And think about a house. And this is even more for, for some of us, some of these things will affect us more than the others. As for me, the job thing, I learned quite earlier on in my career, like the first 2 changes of job, I had a job lined up, but in 2012, when I left a consulting company, I didn't have anything lined up, but I trusted that I will get a contract, I will get a role. And in some ways that was completely innocent, blind faith, I would say there. Like, it's just like, I think there was an ego part of me at 30 something years old, just didn't care and just was kung-ho about it. But it happened. But then I learned that it's possible, and it depends on your mindset. But I also knew I had to change my mindset. I was very aware, I was very afraid of doing this. But when it came to it, I realized beforehand I needed to change my mindset. And that shift in mindset allowed me to trust the next role, that something else will come. And I had so many naysayers to say, no, you can't get that work. You can't ask for that rate. You can't do this. And you will get that. And the key thing here is to trust yourself, because whatever you believe in, you end up creating. And it's the same with houses. So many of us will not sell a house until we got a house, but I know the markets are changing in that. And what about relationships? How many of you are in relationships that are not working for you, but you are so comfortable in it because this is what society tells you that looks good, but your soul is dead and your soul just wants to live and come alive, but you're staying in it. whether it's a business relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's an intimate relationship, a marriage, family. You know, there's so many conditioned constructs around that. And, you know, we've learned that we don't necessarily move on, we stay in it. And this is the thing. Things are falling apart. So whatever you're holding on to tightly, let it fall, because that is a clue that is going to reveal these new doors that are ready and waiting for you to let go first, for you to be in the void first, so then they can appear. Because you have to change your state, because you cannot see the new doors if you're literally got the prescription for only seeing the old doors. So the void allows the plate to be cleansed so that you can then see the new doors appear. Until that point, you're not going to see the new opportunities on the new doors. And so again, these are things that we've learned that we're actually being asked to let go of. And so as part of this, our sense of self is going to change, our sense of safety is going to change, and our sense of presence is going to change. And with all these changes, what's happening is that we're being rewired at the moment at a whole new level. So even those of us, even myself, even though I've done parts of this journey, it's a whole new level of me going in and operating from my heart center and trusting stuff. And for me, it's more of my inner dialogue of the programs that I've had of how I can't do this or how I can't do that or what I can and cannot do. And a lot of that's come from my inner critic. So some of you may be more of an internal journey versus something that is happening outside of you. And so all of this rewiring will question. So the question then becomes, can you let go enough to allow the technology of your soul to lead? This is what this theme is about. All right, let's move on to the third theme. And so theme 3 is called Empowered Empath Expansion. And the guides go, you are not who you have been led to believe. Your worth is not defined by your mind, your sacrifices, your human suit, or your bank account. You are a multidimensional being, energy being, in a human form that is in the process of remembering its eternal divine nature. This can be an overwhelming experience that scrambles the mind, that destabilizes the senses, that distorts the landscape, and shatters the illusions. Yet through this compression, the empowered empath is born, expanding beyond the human form. The more one can embrace and surrender to the unfolding, the greater their ability will be to center themselves within themselves and harness their creativity as a being of light that is simply love, is simply here to shine in its wholeness. So my writing was all over the place. It was a little bit difficult to read, but I feel that this is a very incredible, powerful month where I feel that so many of us have been working through our people-pleasing tendencies, and by working through our people-pleasing tendencies and letting that go and really honoring that parts within ourselves and why we've been doing that and why we have overgave and the rest of it, it's almost like we've got a newer sense of ourselves. And as that newer sense of ourselves get defined, we're learning that we're starting to own the spaces in which we sacrificed and gave up to other people, and how we learned that to sacrifice it means that we are safe. So it's almost like, I'm trying to find the words here because what I've written down here doesn't make any sense to me, but it's like there's an expansion that is happening because we've released these people-pleasing tendencies. We become more aware of our empathic nature, our ability to sense and feel more consciously. So we already were feeling and sensing things as people pleasers as we do, and we're meeting people's needs that we didn't even know that we're meeting on a conscious level. We were doing it all unconsciously. That has all come up more consciously, and with that consciousness it expands. So this month there's a great opportunity to really step in and embody this energy of the empowered empath and expand and expand and expand. So what does this mean? What does this look like? And how does this feel? I can hear the questions that are going on. It's going to be unique to each and every one of us. And remember, it's a cyclical process and it's one of expansion. So what I've got here is just some of the stages, and some of the stages will not happen in this order. It's cyclical, remember, so sometimes you may stay in one stage more than the other. You might experience all of those stages in one go, in 1 hour, in 1 second. Just know that this is just an example to help you to navigate it in, because a lot of the stuff, when we're kind of talking about the empowered empaths and sensing and feeling things beyond our 5 senses, it's quite difficult to put into words. And when you start putting it into words, you lose the energy of it. So hopefully through what I'm about to share next, that the energy stays, but then it also gives your mind something to like, okay, I know what this is about. So in this cyclical process of expansion, one of the first steps would be is that you expand. And as you expand, you realize you've got this new space. So it will feel exciting, it will feel liberating. You gain new levels of awareness, like, oh my God, I now realize this. Isn't this so exciting? There's freedom, there's movement. And so if you're in that state, ride it, expand into it, just open your heart and enjoy it, right? With it also comes overwhelm. Because as soon as you expand and you enter into new spaces of yourself and understanding of yourself, there will be a sense of overwhelm, because it's almost like you may even have to look at parts of yourself that you had buried that have now come to the surface, because you now have the ability to witness it with love, kindness, and compassion. So you can see it and then heal it. Right? You can also get overwhelmed because you're like, oh my goodness, you can feel more. You can feel more of other people's energies. You can feel more of the energies of the collective, of the earth. So that can be very, very overwhelming as well. So here is really important, like I've mentioned before, is to take time to rest and integrate. So allow these energies to integrate within you. And then with that, there is this kind of back and forth, where you learn to use your discernment. You learn to discern, okay, this is mine, this isn't mine. Oh, this is a part of me, I need to work on this. Oh, I can let this go because this doesn't belong to me. So this is the way you then do the work, right? You connect deeper with yourself. You start to clear out your old patterns and programmings and energies that don't belong to you, or energies from your past life, energies from the ancestral lineage that's now ready to be released because you've got whatever, you've got time in it. And then when you do the work, you then get this new space that is created. So the next thing about that is holding that space, accepting wherever you are, whatever's unfolded, whatever you've learned about yourself, accepting everything as it is, being with the presence of presence, and allowing the moment to shift and change without attachment. So you're sitting in this space and you're holding this space without trying to control it, knowing that when the timing is right, new pieces will fall in, and or you will expand. So then the process itself repeats itself. But just know that with expansion comes overwhelm. With overwhelm, there comes, we need to do the work. We have to practically do the personal development work. And then we got to hold space. And in that holding space, there's an energy of around trusting and surrendering. So this journey really takes you onto a deeper journey in connection with yourself. It will heighten your intuition, telepathic abilities, energy healing abilities and modalities. Some of you might discover new techniques, new ways of doing healing work, new ways of herbalism right now as well. So there's something new that is coming to light through this. The more that we can stand tall and strong within this empowered empath and not succumbing to the people-pleasing tendencies, we become more empowered, and more we'll be able to connect with our gifts and our tools on a more energetic level, and more of our soul's energy can come through, and our higher self's energy can come through, and the wisdom from that can come through. And then that can then start to reorganize our physical body. So then we can start to, what then happens, the more we embody our energy and our true self and really tap into our intuition and allow ourselves to be led by our intuition, and it will then start to connect us and draw our soul frequency in our soul family, soul friends, soul partnerships in work, life, everything. So there's a whole thing that is happening, but this is multi-dimensional. So your soul frequency could be the deepest ever connection you've had with a tree, or to the land, to the sea, to the stars, to the moon, to the sun, right? It's not the human to human connection, and in some cases it will be. So just be open to everything and allow yourself to be guided by yourself. And with that, let's go on to the fourth and final theme this month. I love this one so much, and it's called, theme 4 is called Love Simply Loves. Love simply loves. Let go of your need for love, and you shall find that you are already love. Love is a frequency infused with the colors of the rainbow, and each color of the rainbow is a frequency of love. The human definition of love is one of control and manipulation that keeps one addicted and distracted in the various push and pull dynamics of attachment. This is where you give your power away and forget that you are already love. And as this remembering of love begins, within it shall melt away the definitions, and love shall simply flow, emanating through you like the colors of the rainbow. We love you, you are loved, and you are love. So I just feel that this is talking about this mass awakening that I feel that we are moving into. And I keep getting, I'm sure there is this song and I cannot remember, but it's kind of humming in the background, and the words I keep getting is a summer of love. Summer of love comes to mind. So I need to check what that means and what that's about. And I just feel that this is a really powerful message, which is reminding us about our truest nature. And our truest nature is that we are love. We are the energy of love. And those of us that have done the deep inner work where, you know, when we've been attached to something outside of us defining it, or being chosen for love, being loved by our children, being loved by our partners, being loved by people at work, whatever it is, that is all the external stuff. When you let go of that, you have to go inside of yourself and connect to the energy of love. And when you connect to the energy of love, to connect to that energy of love, it's almost like you go through this, I'm getting this like, I don't know whether you guys know it. Some of you might not. Some of you might be too young for this. But there used to be this game that we used to play when we were kids, and it was called King's Quest. So it's almost like you go on this quest. So you go on this quest to connect with the love that is inside of you. So when you go on this quest, you're going to have to play games. You're going to have to compete. And through those games and the competitions, you kind of find different parts of yourself. You acquire different tools. And as you acquire those tools, you're able to go on the quest and deeper on that journey, on that quest. So I know it sounds really, really strange. I don't know why that came to mind. But anyway, I just feel that over August and September, I feel that so much is going to change on the planet, in the collective, in the cosmos, and within ourselves. So it's going to shake us wide awake, and it's going to shatter and rock our stability on what we know. Yet, so it's going to be important. So those of us that can right now, to go within ourselves, to connect with that energy of love and really hold strong and steady in it and emanate it out. It's going to be not only part of our journey, it's going to help those that then start this journey as well. And many of us are going to be in different stages of this journey. And please do not compare yourself to anyone else on this journey. Your journey is unique to you, and know that your journey is absolutely, perfectly and utterly divine timed in the greater tapestry of that what is unfolding for each and every one of us, and knowing that it has its own impact and it will help those that need the help that with you going on the journey. And so the key thing about this is, as things shift and change and things get woken up, let the rage, envy and pain, tears of grief and sadness lead you back home to love. So all of this, the rage, the envy, they're all showing you a way back home to love. It's not an easy journey, but it is a journey that I have been on and still am on. And the more I'm on it, the more I realize, oh my God, this energy of love is beyond anything that I can even possibly imagine it to be. And I cannot even put it into words, because it has no words. And there's so many different frequencies and energies that are constantly oscillating. And even in some of the darkest moments and some of my darkest thoughts, there's always the energy of love. So it's like, oh, this is so fascinating. So the thing that I will say here with all of this, with all the energies that we're moving through, the fiery energies, the destabilizing energies, the energies that make you go, the F is going on here, just allow yourself to be curious and be playful, connect with yourself and ground deeper within yourself, into your heart, and anchor yourself onto this earth, even when the earth is moving, right? Keep coming in and keep grounding. And some of the stages and steps to this journey of connecting with this energy of love and allowing this energy of love to flow through you. One, it's not an easy journey. It starts off with, and I'm just sharing this based on my experience, and each and every one of us will have different experience, but it generally starts off with your heart gets cracked open. So many of us have lived with our hearts closed, and we function quite well in doing it with our hearts closed. We're good at giving love, but not so good at receiving love, and oftentimes we cannot receive love until our heart's being cracked open. For me, that was a little puppy a couple of years ago. So she completely cracked open my heart. And it's that heart cracked open. The reason why we don't want to have our hearts cracked open, I don't mean to say that. Cracked open, Topeka, come on. I am having too much fun with myself today. Hopefully you guys are laughing at myself as I'm laughing at myself here. But anyway, as your heart cracks open, what happens is whatever's been buried inside that comes to the surface. So the pain that you haven't processed, the inner child wounding that you haven't processed, the suffering, everything that you've held that doesn't belong to you, that you carried for other people, the unworthiness, the critic, everything comes out to the surface. And boy, if you had as much crap as I did in my own heart, then gosh, I will be like, good luck to you guys. It is not the easiest journey, I will tell you that, but the key thing is not to suppress it, and know that when it's coming out, you are ready for whatever's ready to be released. You've got the tools, or you find the right people that will help you to navigate it. All of this has a divine timing that goes beyond our human mind. The key thing is that we have been suppressing it, and we get used to suppressing it until we pop. And so the key thing is to allow yourself to express whatever comes up. And the journey of processing, you basically learn to process things that come up with love, kindness, and compassion. So it's almost like you're practicing loving yourself, being kind to yourself, being compassionate to yourself. And it takes as long as it takes. There are many cycles to what happens, and it happens in the cyclical process. And then you know, from the heart being cracked open to then all the stuff coming out to then the journey of processing, you then enter this journey of the void, which is about, you know, being comfortable with being uncomfortable in the emptiness without needing to fill the emptiness in, without knowing where the void's going, but simply being in the void and being okay with the void without trying to analyze the void. So yes, it's all of those things. So you'll move through all of that stuff in the void, and then that's where like this new doors will start to appear. And as a new door starts to appear, you can start walking through them. As you start walking through them, you can start to build new. And the thing is, our natural instinct is we start to build something new. We want to use the old tools and we want to build what we've already built. But you cannot build something old on new land. You have to learn to build something new that doesn't yet exist, that you do not yet have the tools for on the new land. So this is part of this journey here. And so the more that you can come into love, and the more that you then start to love the shadow parts of yourself, because it's going to be really easy to judge yourself to not be able to build something with the tools that you've already got, and having to let go again at that stage, you find that you start to love your shadow parts of it. And each step, you always come back home to love. You're returning back home to love, to a different level of love. There's a stronger sense of self and connection to yourself. And the key thing here is discerning through the resistance that you might face. Sometimes it's your own inner resistance from your own inner programming that's either come from childhood, that's come from past life forms, that's come down from your ancestors, or it's the resistance that you face in your community, within your family, within the workplace, within friendship circles. So, you know, this is a circular, ongoing journey. I am still very much on this journey, and still kind of, you know, exploring new levels of love that I never experienced before. And that's all inside of myself. Nothing in my world outside of me has changed in the last 3 or 4 years. It's exactly the same, minus the sofa that I gave away 2 years ago, which I still can't believe I did, but I did. But that, I guess I can say that that's me holding space for new things to enter, but nothing new has entered, so I'm still holding that space. So it's one really of trust and surrender. And one of the things I can say for sure is there is such a deep sense of connection and fulfillment that comes when you go in within yourself and you connect to the energy of love and realizing that you are love. To really honor that, to really hold that energy of I am love, you have to kind of move through all the conditionings and the woundings that tell you that you're not. And that part of the work can be some of the most difficult part of the work, because that's where a lot of the shadow resides within, and that part needs to be held in love, kindness and compassion. So it's so multi-layered, but this is the deep work, and not everyone will do this work, and it's not for everyone, but some of you that are watching this is for you, and you're already on this journey as well. And all I say is keep going and keep exploring, have fun, laugh at yourself. I mean, I laugh at myself every single day. Those of you that know me know how much I laugh at myself, and I have really, really rag jokes, but it's the only way through. So yeah, that is it. A very, very long insight once again. So if you have enjoyed these insights, please do go ahead and comment below, leave a thumbs up, share it with your loved ones, your families, your friends, your community. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do go ahead and subscribe. Then if you're needing additional support this month, come and join the energetic alignment group healing meditation journey sessions. That is taking, oh God, that's such a mouthful. It's taking place on Sunday the 19th of July at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time and 7 p.m. European time. And the theme is called Empowered Empath Expansion. And then if you are looking for one-to-one support, do go ahead to my website and book yourself in for a 90-minute session, especially if you're, this is mostly for new clients. If you're an existing client, message me directly. You know how to get in touch with me. But this is for new clients, and I've got about 3 or 4 spaces that are available for this month. And then we'll see where we go from that. And it's a great way for you to experience my work on a one-to-one basis without having to sign up for a 3-month or a 12-month program. And in those programs, we go much, much, much deeper. Anyway, everyone, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for supporting my work, watching these insights, and staying with me for, I don't know how long it's going to be, about an hour now. Goodness gracious me, I didn't mean to talk for so long, but hey, this is me. I will see you all next month. Take care now. Bye for now.